गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. We are in Gyaneshwari, chapter 18, verse number 64, OV number 1345 and 1345, 1345. So here we are looking at the verse Sarvaguhyatamam bhuyah shrunu me paramam vachah ishtosi me dhrudhamiti tato vakshyami te hitam. See, Ishwar Bhagwan, he has, why he is the Ishta and why he has Dridham, why is it Dridham? Because he never loses his position. He is the Ishwar. He takes various incarnations, but he never loses his Ishwaratva. Even if he has taken the incarnation, he never forgets that he is the Ishwar. I am using the word forget because we are talking. So he ever remains the Ishwara in spite of taking, and therefore Dridha. Therefore he is Ishwara. We keep forgetting. We are man, woman, husband, wife, brother, sister. We keep changing roles. This is our problem. His disposition is different. Therefore he can make these statements. So here he says, what? Listen further to my supreme word, the most secret of all. You are exceedingly dear to me, so I shall speak for your benefit. And and who is Ishvara? Who is the Lord in love with? He is in love with his devotee. Whoa. See? So Lord changes himself for the sake of the devotee. Disciple changes himself for the sake of the Lord or the Guru. But the Lord, because of his love for the devotee, which devotee? Not just a hypocritical devotee, upar se, andar se kuch nahi. Nahi. A devotee like Arjuna, who has completely surrendered himself. Completely at, what is that? Shreyas nishchitam bruhi tanme shishyasteham shadhi mam toam prapannam. That statement who can make? How many of us have made? How many of us have surrendered to a teacher, surrendered to a scripture, surrendered to a God, surrendered to a cause, surrendered to a husband or wife in that sense? That I am your disciple as I am your devotee. Forget it. It's always we hold the ace in our hand, and that ace is the ego, the ahankar. We hold that so that we always have a patli gali se nikal jao. But as long as it is suitable, as long as it is convenient, we play the game of surrender or discipleship. And you can see that in ashrams also, you can see that in those self-declared devotees also. But Arjuna is not like that. So from him we see how we should mold ourselves so that we are not only a disciple who is ready to change, shift, change the attitude within ourselves, but also the Lord falls in love with us. What does it mean that Lord falls in love with us? What does it mean Lord falls in love with us? Tell someone. Say, brainstorm.
He will go to any extent to help the devotee.
How will devotee come to know?
Lord.
Yes, Lord will. I don't want to say no. Yes, Lord will go to any extent to help the devotee who is completely surrendered to Him. What else?
There'll be a pull from inside.
Huh?
There'll be a pull from inside.
Naturally, your mind will be towards the Lord. Okay, what else?
But the Lord is there itself. Means
Huh?
For Him, I don't exist. Lord is, that's all there is. So whatever happens is within me, that I feel something different.
But then there is who is a devotee
I'm
who has lost his individuality.
Yeah.
So where is me? In me. There is no in me thereafter. So then what happens? Lord's love for his devotee is he starts expressing through the devotee. You know? Because now it has become a empty vessel. He can fill it up. And that filling up means all that knowledge that he has, all that clarity that he has, all the knowledge, everything starts spontaneously pouring out of the, for our sake, devotee. From his point of view, it is he himself, isn't it? Because he is the material cause, he is the efficient cause. पर वो कब in this relationship of devotee and devoted, the Lord and the devotee, in this, when does he start expressing? He knows he is expressing. Whether this devotee accepts it or doesn't accept. He knows everything is he alone. Because he has not forgotten his Ishwaratva. He is ever abiding. But from devotee's point of view, everything becomes instantaneous. Everything becomes, no thought goes towards the world. It's everything that we will, once the next verse is very important one. Sarva dharman parityaja, you have heard that many times. After that we will tell you what it means from karma point, from bhakti point, from yoga point, from jnana point, same thing. So here, now listen once again to my clear talk with spacious attention. It is not that I shall speak because it is worth communicating or that you should hear because it is worth hearing. In fact, fortune has favored you in the form of my talk. Fortune. That means grace. Here fortune is grace. Oh, Dhananjaya, the young of those examples were taken. And is there anything in this world which man cannot secure when fortune smiles upon him? This is the esoteric knowledge in which one gets rid of dualism and enjoys the bliss of unity in his very home. In his very home means he doesn't have to run to the Himalayas, he doesn't have to run to the caves, he doesn't have to give up the family, he doesn't have to stop eating, he doesn't have to stop doing his business. Then what has changed? Then what has changed? Only his attitude has changed. 3rd chapter Bhagavad Gita. His attitude has changed. That everything is by his will alone. So when this vision starts, this transformation in vision comes about, then he is just flowing with whatever life is coming towards him. And who are we? We consider ourselves to be the ego, no? The individual. Who is an individual? Who before karma, before any activity, he is the doer, and after the activity, he is the enjoyer, or after the karma, he is the enjoyer. Now, what is he doing? Before the action, he says, it is your will that is taking place. And after the action is done, he says, whatever comes, he says, it is your prasad. He gets out of the way. Are we getting out of the way? Or are we still holding on? I am doing it. I am listening. I am lecturing. I am understanding. It's very simple. We want to do meditation. We want to have great experiences. Until this is the first step. Karma Yoga. So before the action, for devotee, everything is Lord only. So don't take the ownership. Don't be the doer. Even that name which is being chanted, that remembrance of the Lord that is taking place, it is thy will. So you are out of the way. See, this is what it means here. Is there anything in this world which man cannot secure when fortune smiles upon him? If the mirror is clean, then naturally you are able to see your own face. If fortune is smiling. But that same mirror, when it is a bit dusty and you go and look, you see a ghost standing in front, then you get scared. If you not, maybe a child will get scared. Sometimes we also do, at the wrong time, isn't it? You are in the own house, but the child wants the mother to get up to go to the same bathroom which is in the same house. Why the fear? Everything is secure. So when our mirror of our mind cleans up, how will it clean up? Surrender to the Lord, think of Him continuously, and then what will happen? Then with no doubt, complete clarity, what is your true, who is expressing through you, everything will be, because you don't have to say anything. See? So as an individual, is there any, is it possible? Yes, it is possible. And how is it possible? When you are dedicated, devoted, surrendered to the Lord, and that Lord is the fortune which is smiling on you. That Lord is the grace which is smiling on you. That Lord is the Satchidanand Swarup who is smiling on you. He is the knowledge, He is the spontaneity, He is the intuition, He is the effortless living. That is, because He is that. He doesn't practice that, He is that. And once you get out of the way by surrendering to Him, what He stands for, that starts expressing through your life. See? It's that simple. So instead of taking a position that I am so and so, I have made so and so, I have achieved so and so, our disposition should be how the Lord must be thinking about His creation. Get into the Lord's mind. You can't do japa all the time at the moment. If it is happening, fantastic. But when japa fructifies, when it becomes mature, then knowledge gets invoked. And that knowledge is, you are attempting to think the way Lord is looking at everything. Initially you are looking at the Lord. Now you are you are attempting to see, hear, touch, feel, taste, think, everything. What will be His disposition? In that attempt you vanish. In that attempt you vanish. Knowing fully well that even that attempt is initiated by Him, not you. See? इतना मजा है ना ऐसे कभी भी चुपचाप बैठे रहो, ऐसे सोचते रहो. Keep contemplating like this. It doesn't take too long to vanish as an individual. How long does it take you to vanish as an individual when you go to sleep, as a waker? Instantaneous, the moment you touch the bed, isn't it? So you create this habit. Again and again, make yourself available to that. And the moment you touch, just like those who have done japa with a mala, every time you touch the mala, immediately the mantra begins. isn't it? Immediately, the moment you come into the kitchen, you know which drawer what is available in your house, isn't it? You don't have to think. Because mind has been programmed. Same way, the moment you touch the rosary, Japamala, immediately, because of practice, the mind immediately forgets everything and the japa begins. Similarly, you cultivate this habit, how the Lord is thinking, how every now and then. See. Continuing from 1345, 1346. आणि निरूपचारा प्रेमा विषय होय जे प्रियोत्तमा ते दुजे नव्हे की आत्मा ऐसेची जाणावे आरिसाचिया देखिलया गोमटे की जे धनंजया ते तया नोहे आपणया लागी जैसे तैसे पार्था तुझे निमिषे मी बोले आपणयाची उद्देशे माझ्या तुझ्या ठाई असे मी तृपण गा म्हणवणे जेव्हारीचे गुज सांगत असे जीवासी तुझ हे अनन्य गतीचे मज आधी व्यसन पैम जळा आपण पे देता लवण भुलले पंडुसुता की आघवे तयाचे होता न लजेची ते. So that Arisa, the mirror example automatically came. I didn't realize. So here he says that, O dearest, that which is the object of our informal affection is nothing else but the self. See, mother's love towards the child is not because she is considering that child as separate. She considers that child in the definition of I. She considers it as part of herself. How wonderful when the Lord starts seeing us. He is already seeing. We become aware of that. That He, and wherever that unconditional love is there, prema, then the mother sacrifices, the father sacrifices for that child, in whatever the child may be, but the sacrifice is there, availability is there. So when you are in love with the Lord is also He is not making decisions that I'm going to love Him, I'm not going to love Him. He is not doing that. He is everything and everywhere. But when someone is available, the love starts flowing. So He has never blocked His love to express through us. We have blocked. How? By taking a particular identity. Dissolve the identity. How do you dissolve the identity? By contemplating on the one who has got no identity. Simple. Simple. And as long as we are contemplating, thinking with our mind, understand, mind only functions with name and form. Mind only functions with name and form. So, can mind think about nothingness? You will go cuckoo. So, better than nothingness, contemplate with the mind with some name and form which is holier than holy. That is our Ishvara. That is our Lord. Whoever towards you have the affinity, we have the freedom in our culture that all of them are one, so choose whichever. And through that, make that as, and you surrendering to the Lord and losing your identity is equal to realization. Don't overthink. It is realization. Then he says, that which is the object of our informal affection is nothing else but the self. So, Lord is considering Arjuna as his self and pouring all the knowledge to him out of love and affection. Isn't it? You are also coming here or interacting with various satsangs only out of love and affection. See? So that relationship should unconditional love, not because we want something out of it. It should be the most natural thing. See? And that for that we have to be alert every moment. Till that alertness, that vigilance is natural. Till then we have to practice it. When we cleanse the mirror, it is not for its sake, but for our own sake, as we wish to look into it. So when we clean the mirror has got no purpose. I just now adjusted my glasses. The glass has got no purpose. It is inert. It is not seeing. Come back. For whom are the glasses? For the eye. Eye has no purpose. It is just a hole. Just the vision is expressing. Then who is behind the eye? The mind. Mind has no purpose. Mind also has got no purpose. It's just thinking. Then who has the purpose? Who is behind it? The I. See? So come back to that. And what are we doing now? Instead of saying that I am as an individual, we are seeing that this I is the expression of that divine. So when I'm standing in front of the mirror has no purpose. I am seeing myself because I cleaned the mirror. So when I clean the mirror of my mind, when I withdraw my senses, when I slow down the thoughts, it is not for the mind or controlling for the sake of the senses. The end Kathopanishad, we are doing that chariot analogy. It is not for the sake of the horses we are controlling. We are not controlling the reins and giving it in the hands of the Lord who is the charioteer. It is for the person who is the owner of the chariot. Who is that? I. So that I can reach the required destination. And what is that destination? When I have placed the Lord as the charioteer, I know He'll take me to the right place. Complete trust, complete faith. And He made one mistake in Bhagavad Gita of telling the Lord, take the chariot between the two armies. I want to see who has come to it. Whole Gita came about. See, one mistake He made. As if He did not know who was on the other side. And He took the freedom to dictate to the Lord Himself, knowing fully well that this person who's sitting in front of Him, before He asked the question, He had inkling that He is something great. But even though Lord Krishna is much, much more adept and powerful than Arjuna, yet he is dictating to him. He took the freedom because he felt he was the owner of the chariot and the charioteer is supposed to listen to the owner of the chariot. And he gave the order. And the Vishada Yoga began. See? So, in that way, O Arjuna, I am speaking for my own sake, making you an excuse. So, Lord is saying that I am speaking to myself by giving these discourse on Bhagavad Gita. I am speaking to myself. You may think you are separate to me, but I am speaking to myself. We also say the same thing, that we are speaking to our own mind. We are not speaking to you. In Kathopanishad also, here also, so many times we have said the whole creation is only in your mind. So whom are we speaking to? Just like in the whole dream, all the beings in the dream are in the mind only, as the mind only. The material out of which all the beings are made, including the life expressing through them, is nothing but your life, your mind. So is true here. You don't know it, Lord knows it. And therefore we have created this path where I need to be one with the Lord. You are already there. We don't know it, that's all. Because we have accepted that we are an individual. We have accepted the sense of otherness. We have accepted the differences. We have not accepted the oneness. How many scriptures have been saying again and again, Panchadashi le lo, Gita le lo, Amrit Anubhav you see, or Upanishads you see, that there is no individual minds. What happened to the individual minds in the people, all the people in the dream? It was your mind which was expressing as individual minds in all the people, isn't it? So when you wake up, you can come to this conclusion that all minds were only one mind. So is true in the waking also. Not just lip service. बाल खड़े होने चाहिए when this clicks. So where is the question of dealing with this mind or dealing with that mind or controlling this mind or controlling that mind or see? Get out of this maintenance of divisions. But we have invested so much in the outside world. He is my husband, he is my daughter, he is my friend, he is my enemy, he is my employee, he is my this, he is my that. So to get out of that is very difficult. Because 20, 30, 40, 50 years of practice. Create if you can't see the divine in that, don't work, because you can't convert the outside into divine. Very difficult. You surrender your mind to the divine. Once the mind is pervaded by divinity, automatically the vision towards the world will get transformed. You will see divinity everywhere. This is the methodology. This is the methodology. So scriptures have come into our life. The Lord has come into our life, our love for the Lord, whatever little bit we have. The satsang has come into our life. It is all His doing. Because He loves us. Because we are not separate to Him. Never doubt it. हाँ वो तो ठीक है, but not like that. Oh Arjuna, I am speaking for my own sake, making you an excuse. Now, is there any duality between us? So I am telling you the secret of my heart. I am crazy about my single-minded devotees. Therefore, they are dear to me. Those I am speaking to myself. Don't you love your mind when it is doing what you want it to do? Hey? Correct, na? If you are doing japa, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, and the mind is going, my wife, Hare Ram, my child, Hare Ram, my business, Hare Ram, my pain, Hare Ram, then you are disturbed. But how much joy when without any effort the mind is chanting Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, because you love your mind, isn't it? When the dog, when he listens to you, you love him. If he barks for no reason or does not follow your rules, then you punish him. See? So what about Lord then? When a individual, when a devotee is thinking about him without punishing, Punish. Lord does not punish. I'm just making joke of it. But of his own accord, Arjuna, Lord did not tell the Arjuna, you say that I am your devotee, I am your disciple, then I'll teach you. He did not say that. He was just smiling in front of him. In fact, he scolded him. He abused him. Lord Krishna abused Arjuna. Klebhyam magavsma partha. So that student, that disciple, that devotee, by himself when he surrenders, wonderful. So when naturally, with effortlessly, when our mind is contemplating on the Lord, singing the glory of the Lord, he is happy. He comes and sits in the mind. Very good. Place is available for me. It is always, but in this relationship, Lord knows that He is the self of everyone. Lord knows. But when the individual becomes available, then what the Lord is in His entirety, that starts expressing through that individual equipment. Understand? Like electricity, nowadays in our house there is one bulb, two bulbs. Electricity is flowing, all the bulbs are lighting, but one keeps going tuk 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 tuk. Why? The filament must be loose. Like the olden bulbs, filament is loose. Sometimes it gets attached, sometimes it gets. When it is attached, light. When it gets detached, no light. So flickering is going on. Is our mind flickering? Is it surrendered to the Lord continuously, or there is sometimes we will think of the Lord, sometimes we will not think of the Lord. Yeah, everything was going so wonderful. Why is it not going on now? Did you forget Him? See? So from Lord's point of view, He is speaking to Himself, and therefore He is only making Arjuna as an excuse to talk to himself, that which is the greatest. That which is the greatest. You will see many times when we are speaking on this Vyaspit, it's any teacher, sometimes beautiful statements come out. Even the teacher is surprised where it is coming from. You see, even the teacher is surprised. How is it happening? Because he surrenders at the seat of Vyaspit, that he is the speaker. If he is the speaker, he will get tired. He will be judgmental. Why people are not changing? See? So where does those great statements, those great revelations come? He is only speaking. So I am telling you the secret of my heart. The Lord is saying, this is my secret, that I don't consider anything in this creation as separate to me. I don't consider you as separate to me. Just like a mother she sees her child separate to her, but in the heart of hearts, she is absolutely connected. She cannot but accept that child to be her own, a part of her. Isn't it? I'm crazy about my single-minded devotees. So those who are single-pointed means those who are not distracted by the extroverted world. Those who are single-pointedly means ekatar. Single-pointedly, only one stream of thoughts. And it's not mechanical. The tape recorder is also chanting the mantra continuously without any distraction. But with bhav, with surrender, consciously. And what is that consciously? That I have to be one with... No, the Lord alone is functioning through me. Not that I am going to become one with the Lord. You are already one. That Lord alone is functioning. I don't understand it, so I'll just keep chanting and surrender myself to Him. And what is surrender? Vaikari madhyama pashanti para. Go through that. I'm crazy about my single-minded devotee. The salt, being enamored of water, surrenders itself completely to it and feels no shame in merging with it. No shame, another word is, does not feel afraid to lose its identity. Our problem is we are afraid of losing our identity. If on the seat of meditation little bit of some esoteric experience happens, for some moment we lose the body shape, or we don't know where we were in our mind, we come out afraid. Earlier days, everyone goes through that, but no fear. See? So either you have done that, you are practicing forcefully, willfully, therefore the fear, without understanding, therefore the fear, no faith, therefore the fear, no trust in the Lord that He is, what is that? Yogakshemam vahamyaham, therefore the fear, that He is taking care of everything, He is the one who is initiating everything. But when I comes, then there is fear. I am doing it, fear will come. So be like, this is the famous example of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, of the salt doll going to check out the depth of the ocean, and jumped into the ocean and becomes one with the ocean. We can't even say becomes, because there is no one left thereafter. It is the ocean. So same way, we think of the Lord. How? Salt doll is made up of all the particles of salt. We are made up of all the thoughts. What are the thoughts? I am father, mother, daughter, sister. I am the hands, legs, the panchendriyas, panchakarmendriyas. I am the mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. I am the thoughts. I am I want to realize. I want to surrender. All these are thoughts only. And all these I's together is called the individual ego. And it is thinking of the divine. Allow yourself to be sucked into the divine. You allow yourself to be sucked into the deep sleep. Your mind. Allow yourself to be sucked into the divine without going to sleep. It is possible. It doesn't take too long. We have to become available. If we think, now our Kathopanishad says, Kshurasya dhara, this path is very difficult. But for a devotee, there is nothing difficult. He doesn't worry about easy or difficult. He just loves the Lord for the sake of love. That's all. There is no discrimination. I am the consciousness, I am not the consciousness. I am the changeless and world is changing. He is not thinking about that. There is not this versus that. Here it is, everything is He alone. And feels no shame in merging with it. तैसा तू माझ्या ठाई राखो नेण सीची काही तरी आता तुझ काही गोप्य मी करू म्हणवनी आघवीची गुढे जे पाऊनी अति उघडे ते गोप्य माझे चोखडे वाक्य ऐक. Then he says, in the same way, you do not keep back anything from me. And so why should I hide anything from you? See how beautiful? What is the relationship? What happens to a teenager? If the parents are being only parents and they are not becoming friends of a teenager or a youth, the child starts hiding things from the parents because he feels he will be judged, he will be reprimanded, he is misunderstood by the parents. Why? The parents are thinking they are the parents. They don't want to improve themselves. They want to improve the child. See? And then slowly the distance between the children and the parent, some places you see, some places it's not there. Why it is not there? Because The parents are also happy-go-lucky, the children are also happy-go-lucky. There's complete trust. There's complete trust that they will tell, they will do whatever is right. And if some mistakes are made, life is about making. If you don't make mistakes, there's no person in this world who has not made any mistake and learned, isn't it? Haven't we made mistakes and grown up to be where we are today? So how can you protect a child or a teenage from not making mistakes? You cannot. All you can do is, yes, okay, this is what happened, this is what happens. You learn from it and move on. Just now I was in Auckland. Someone passed away in that house where I was staying, and the lady for 2.5 days, I was just keeping quiet. क्या बोल रहा है? एक बार, oh, sorry to hear, her younger sister from a moving train, and slow, it was just going to stop on the station in Haridwar, and she jumped out of the train, fell and passed away. And she was taking the ashes of her husband to be put in the Ganges. So every day this lady will talk to her, and now there is no one to talk. 2 days, so third day, Swamiji, please say something. So half an hour, 45 minutes satsang. Next day, she says, Swamiji, can I ask you something? I said, yes. Swamiji, what is the difference between, how should we take destiny and free will? I said, how many satsangs you have attended? But I understood. मेरे को उस सिचुएशन में भी सीरियस नहीं होता. तो मैंने कहा ठीक है. Destiny is whatever is coming to you in life. So this event has come to you in your life. Now, are you going to succumb to this event and become and be hopeless, or are you going to be a master of this event and come out unscathed by this event? For that, proper attitude is required. Tell me which person has not died in this world, who is born. Tell me how many people are dying. Are you crying about them? Or are you crying only because it is my sister? See? And in that vein, I spoke, just 5-10 minutes I spoke, and then she went to sleep. She woke up, she was smiling, laughing. Completely transformation, because she internalized it. Yes. Why am I succumbing to this? It has happened. I have grieved for 2.5 days. And after people are coming, oh, this should not happen. Okay, it's okay. My husband told you everything, we don't have to repeat everything. Before everyone came, she will tell the whole story, cry again and again and again and again. Did I tell her before? No. When she asked, then only I spoke. But that was the right time. And 3 hours later, 3 hours of sleep, and she woke up a different person, because in the sleep she was contemplating, I'm not like this, or this is not the right attitude. Every event in our life is there to transform us to recognize the divine, to recognize the general principle of life. And that clicked to her. So here, in this same way, you do not keep back anything from me, and so why should I hide anything from you? You have openly, blatantly told me you are who is Dhananjaya, who is this Arjuna, who has never lost a war in his life, who has never been defeated by his life. Yet he surrendered. Shishyasteham shadhi mamtaram prapannam. He told all the doubts in his mind that he was feeling totally nonplussed. Everything was, his mind was reeling, his body was shaking. That warrior, that great warrior, would not share that with anything, but he shared it with Krishna, no? Whom do you share such things with? Only whom you trust, only whom you know will give you the right direction. You don't go to every Tom, Dick and Harry. So many people go to psychiatrists. After that, they come to us. Because they have spent thousands of dollars and nothing has happened. And the problem is still there. I'm not saying few cases were there. And then they come to us. And then listen to some satsang, few interactions, they understand how their mind is functioning and they come out of it by themselves. We have not done anything. What does a psychiatrist do? Makes you repeat the same thing over and over again, over and over again. See what is there, what is your attitude, are kitna? See? So when Arjuna has surrendered everything, opened, he's an open book for Krishna. When someone comes with an open book, it becomes, the reciprocation is, open book is like the clean mirror. It's an open book. Whatever is there, it will get reflected. So he has become an open book in front of the Lord. The Lord says, okay, you are open, I'll fill you up. He pours it in. See? And this is the same. It is not just with two people. It is not just with in any relationship. It is your relationship with your mind also. Are you judgmental of yourself? Are you critical of yourself? Or are you open to yourself? And how do you make yourself open to yourself? Think of the one who is ever open. Simple, without too much of working out. So this is the secret. The Bhagavan is saying that whoever is in love with me, is devoted to me, is surrendered to me, I am compelled to fill him up with this knowledge, this outpouring. And see, Arjuna, he has already given the knowledge. Now he is giving the essence. He's saying, I want to give more. Just like Yamraj, Nachiket asked him, waited, he said, take some boon. He took the boon and he was so impressed that he wanted to give him one more boon. And he told that this Vaishwanara Agni will be from now on called as Nachiket Agni. He didn't have to do that, but he did. Why? Because of the innocence and clarity of that young kid. Clarity towards what he wants in life. What is that? He wanted to know that, by knowing which nothing remains to be known. He wanted to know that which is some people say that there is a soul, some people say there is no soul. What is the truth? What is that soul? That is the dharma. What is its true nature? How many 8-year-old asked this question? 7-year-old asked this question. See? Like we were on Guru Purnima day, when you remember our the Subramaniam, Dr. Subramaniam, he brought his grandchild, first time. He came home on Guru Purnima day. And the child asked, you eat our head, you ask Swamiji. So the child, 7-year-old boy, asked one question. Who gave the name God to God? Why do we call him God? Why don't we call him anything else? See? How many times has that question come to your mind? My parents gave me the name, his name was Krishna. My parents gave me the name Krishna. Their parents gave their name. Who gave the name to God as God? How will you explain to that child? You have to become a child first. Then the answer will come. See? So in this manner, I hide. So why should I hide anything from you? Now listen to my great secret before which all other secrets reveal themselves. If this was not enough, he is going telling you, going to tell us what is the ultimate secret? Sarva dharman parityajya. Oh, what is the secret? Let's see. This is not, that is the next verse, I think. Where are we? That is 66th verse. This is 65th verse. Repeat. Manmana bhava madbhakto, manmana bhava madbhakto, madhyaji mam namaskuru, madhyaji mam namaskuru, mame vaishyasi satyam te, mame vaishyasi satyam te, pratikjane priyosi me, pratijane priyosi me. Together. Manmana bhava madbhakto, madhyaji mam namaskuru, mame vaishyasi satyam te, pratijane priyosi me. So, what does he say here? Fix your mind on me and be devoted to me, worship me and bow down before me, then you shall come to me alone. I promise, as you are dear to me. I have already, in that angle only, all the thoughts were going, but here it is a confirmation. And it is not, many people say this and they say Krishna is very egoistic. Surrender to me, think of me, don't do anything without offering it to me. Everything that you get in life is prasad of me. Who says me? Who is very egoistic. No? But which is this ego if you want to use it? It is that which includes everything. It's all inclusive. Then it's okay. Our problem is I am me, others are not me. There where the problem begins. And therefore the Shankaracharya Paddhati, first come to the individual consciousness, then recognize that this consciousness is the infinite, all-inclusive consciousness. Sarva-vyapi consciousness, all-pervasive consciousness. But to come to straight to understand that consciousness is all-pervasive, for a common person or for in general, it is very difficult because your obsession with the differences has not gone yet. So you have not even worked out that you are consciousness. You don't know what consciousness is as it is because you are still obsessed with the world and you want to know that consciousness is all pervasive. It is not possible. So first, wean yourself away from everything outside, come to recognize consciousness as it is, then understand and recognize that this consciousness is one without a second. Ekameva dvitiya. There is nothing else apart from this consciousness. And that is the process. That is the Shankaracharya Paddhati. So Gyaneshwari Maharaj says here, how beautiful. Tari bahya ani antara apuliya sarva vyapara maza vyapaka te vira vishayo kari aghava angi jaisa vayu miloni ahe akasha tu sarva karmi taisa majasi chi asa kim bahuna apule mana करी माझे एकायतन माझे निश्रवणे कान भरूनी घाली. He says, please make me the all-pervading God, the object of all your activities, both physical and mental. Just as the wind remains clinging closely to the sky, you remain centered in me while doing your work. Nay, you make your mind my exclusive dwelling place and fill your ears with my praise. How? This is the trick of living effortlessly, of allowing the divine to function through you. And what is that? Make me the all-pervading God. When he says, make me the all-pervading God, the Lord, the Bhagwan, he knows he is all-pervasive. He knows nothing is outside of him. It is not an egoistic statement. See? When a parent tells the child, don't do this, the parent is telling from his own experience that I have burnt, you will also get burnt if you touch the fire. It is not out of, how do you know, why you are always telling me what to do, what not to do, but the parent has experienced that, no? It's their direct experience that fire is hot. Just an example. Similarly, what is the knowledge of the Lord? That I am all pervasive. There is none other than me. And how is that? Again, I repeat. I said that in the previous verse also. And what is that? Even though Lord is appearing as an individual, it seems to be as an individual in front of the Arjuna on the chariot, giving him the discourse, but he has not forgotten his Ishwaratva. We are individuals, but we have forgotten our Ishwaratva. We have forgotten that the consciousness is all encompassing. Lord has not forgotten. This is the difference. So when he makes the statement that you think of me, you surrender to me, who is saying? Is it the individual Krishna saying, or is it, from our point of view, he is individual, but from Krishna's point of view, he is ever the infinite. He has never come down to be the individual. That individual person as Krishna is only an appearance. He has never forgotten what his true nature is. See? So, both physical and mental pursuits, activities make me the object of all your activities. Outer activities, all the karma that you are doing. And what do? See that he is the prompter. See that he is the initiator. That's why our Hindu culture, every morning we light the lamp. Before going out, we light the lamp. After coming back from work, we offer whatever has happened during the day to the Lord by lighting the lamp, isn't it? Either you do that on two times a day, or you remember that divine continuously in and through before every activity, and taking every result as the prasad, as the result that he has given, that is as his prasad. Then it's okay. Then that lamp is lit forever. You don't have to specify. So that representation that in the morning you light the lamp, in the evening you light the lamp, is just to create a habit. It's not the outside lamp, it is the inner lamp which is even more important. And what is that inner lamp? That every thought is thinking only of the divine. So nobody is asking you to run away from the world. So outwards, everything is going on as it is. Hunger will come and go, waking dream and deep sleep will come and go. If wife comes, the husband will speak. If the child comes, the father will speak. If the mother comes, the son will speak. Everything is going on normally. But inside, it is the secret. Your mind is surrendered to the Lord. You are seeing that everything that is happening in your outside life is happening by His will, and every thought that is coming in our mind, inside, mentally, is surrendered to the Lord. It is only initially when we say, remember Bhagavad chapter 2, chapter 3, what was the way, what was the process? First, perform the actions, don't expect the results. What will happen? Mind will get purified. What will happen to that purified mind? It will recognize that the attitude is more important than the action itself. Then what happens? More purification, because you are refining your attitude behind all activity. And as attitude gets refined from tamasic to rajasic to sattvic, automatically a new vision is presented to you that activity and inactivity are simultaneously going on, and suddenly you, hey, I am not doing anything, everything is just going on. That leads to karma sannyas, chapter 5. When it leads to karma sannyas, then question comes, then who am I? Even for that temporary moment, you are not, and immediately the 6th chapter, the meditation begins. And once the meditation begins, then after that, it is not enough that you are in meditation. In meditation, there is peace. Come out of meditation, there is no peace. The world is still there. The wife is still there. The children are still there. The duties are still there. The successful or unsuccessful business or ways of life are still there. Judgment is still there. Ridicule is still there. Failure is still there. How do I convert this peace which I was experiencing on the seat of meditation? Why can't it be 24/7, whether I am in meditation or I am outside? For that to come about, then expansion of consciousness was necessary. And 7th chapter onwards, this expansion of consciousness began. See? And that is the process. So here Bhagavan is saying, from very basic level, that whether there is physical activity outside when you are identified with the senses and organs of action, or you are identified with the mind, that I am the mind, both must be surrendered to the divine. So as much as we say that the activity outside is initiated by the divine and the prasad result is of the divine prasad, similarly in mind also every thought that is coming is initiated by the divine, by the Lord, and whatever the consequence of that thought, good or bad, it is His prasad only. Take it in the stride. Don't forget, don't give importance to the prasad. Our prasad can never be only good all the time. It is not possible only. Isn't it? Our attention, our focus is on the divinity. Our attention is not on the karma or activity, nor on the result of the activity. Because what is our, if you take it from after reading the whole Bhagavad Gita, we want and be the expanded, all-encompassing consciousness. If I remain that I am thinking and I am getting the result, I have crystallized my consciousness. Crystallized consciousness is called ego. Individuality. I want to expand it. So, similar thinking which I have been practicing throughout my life is not going to help me to expand the consciousness. I have to let go. I have to take the, what do you call? Which one? The blue pill or the red pill? Of the matrix. I have to take the pill and jump. Like that salt doll took the jump. Not knowing. Because it's not waiting for the result. Because there is no result. There is no one left behind. I have become one with the whole ocean. There is no one left behind. Same thing here. Are we ready to dissolve ourselves to that extent like that salt doll? If we want, yes, we are fired up by that vision. But then you have to apply it. Stop taking ownership in the outside world, stop taking ownership in the inner world. But somewhere we can't live without taking ownership or blaming someone. Either we take ownership or we make someone else responsible, or we take responsibility. Here we are saying we are not going to give responsibility to anyone in the world for good and bad in our life, nor to take the responsibility ourselves. We give it to the Lord, that He alone is expressing. He alone is expressing. See? Just as wind remains clinging closely to the sky, you remain centered in me while doing your work. Now watch this. Throughout your life, since you got married and have children, continuously, whatever may be going on in your life, you are centered towards your family. Nobody has to remind you, hey, you have to take care of each other. You have to take care of your children. You have to keep the house clean. You have to cook the food. Nobody has to remind. Automatically it is going on because it is your unspoken commitment to the family. It is your unspoken responsibility which you have accepted in your life, isn't it? But how long? The outside. When are you going to take that unspoken commitment that everything is happening by His will? Just like that. So here you are not thinking that I have to take care of my children. It's happening because you have accepted them as I. Same way here. Bhagavan says that the wind remains clinging closely to the sky, you remain centered in me. Let every thought be centered in me. With every breath, you contemplate only on me. With every event, contact, experience outside in the world or in the internal world, you be centered in me. Don't give it too much credence and importance, whatever is happening outside. Everything in our life is an opportunity or should be an opportunity to come back to the divine theme. We have to mold our mind like that. While doing your work, nay, you make your mind my exclusive dwelling place and fill your ears with my praise. So make your mind exclusively my dwelling place. This is only possible when you remember Him again and again. How do you remember with Him? Vaikari madhyama pashanti para. Again it comes back to the same, very simple exercise. But yes, but we never practice it. We never practice it. We want to remain intellectual. We want to remain intellectual. We want to understand, but understanding is directly proportional to the quietness of the mind. Quietness of the mind is not going to come about by engaging in the world. Quietness of the mind will come about when the mind is engaged exclusively with the Lord. Ananyashchindayanto mam. Ye jana paryupasate. Exclusively be devoted to Him. Contemplate on Him. Yes, it is. You have never experienced Him. You have never known Him. You have never directly come to know Him. So it is shooting in the dark. But that is what faith is. You don't know that parents told you they are your parents. You accepted it without any question. So when scriptures, masters are telling you that, and that when Lord is telling you that you exclusively place your mind in me, then He's not tricking you. All these verses are nowhere. It is only to empower us. It is not to take. And what is empowerment? Empowerment is recognizing that you are all that there is. Ekameva dvitiya. And that is where He is bringing you because He is already established in it. Every teacher every Guru Maharaj is established in it. He is not, if he is strict with the student or the parents are strict with the child, it's not because they hate or they want to control or they want to manipulate the student, child, devotee. No, they want to invoke the best out of that child. They know the potential in that one. And if a disciplined approach is there and certain parameters are set, then automatically that the roots will go deep. That's what is here. Now don't think about your children. We are talking about you, our mind. Continuing, where are we? 70, 71.
56.
56, okay. तेथ दृष्टि पडो आवडी 56
आत्मज्ञानी
हाँ
46.
नहीं यार नहीं
55
हमने इसका शुरू कर लिया तरी बाह्य आणि अंतरा ये कर लिया ना
हाँ जी आत्मज्ञाने चोखडी 55 च्या नंतर
हाँ 55 च्या नंतर आत्मज्ञाने चोखडी संत जे माझी रूपडी तेथ दृष्टी पडो आवडी कामिनी जैसी मी सर्व वस्तीचे वसवटे माझी नामे जिये चोखटे तिये जियावया वाटे वाचे चिये लावी हाताचे करणे का पायाचे चालणे ते होय मज कारणे तैसे करी आपुला अथवा परावा ठाई उपकरसी पांडवा तेणे यज्ञ होई बरवा याज्ञिको माझा हे एकैक शिकवू काई पैसेवके आपुल्या ठाई उरुनी येर सर्वही मी सेव्यची करी. He says, the saints who are purified by the knowledge of self are my aspects. Look at these saints as fondly as an amorous husband looks at his beautiful wife. Gyaneshwari Maharaj. So he is saying all the saints are embodiments of me only. See? And why they are dear to him? Because they have completely surrendered to him. Therefore he can make that statement. From his point of view, everyone is him alone. He knows that. But among that diversity, who is the closest? Those who are empty, those who have surrendered. From relative standpoint. Because he is speaking relatively to, because there is Arjuna, he is speaking to Arjuna. In non-relativity, in absolute, there is no conversation possible. So here conversation is happening between two people. And two people means relativity. But Arjuna is not clear. Krishna is absolutely clear as to his essential nature. Being that, yet taking the form of an individual person as Krishna. Similarly, we see the various masters, the realized masters. We see the body, but what do they see? We consider them to be body. We relate with the body. We devote to the body. We touch the feet of the body. We want to serve the body. Massage karo, pair dabao, khana khilao. You invite the body to your house. But where is his disposition? A master's disposition? What is he thinking? Is he thinking you are all separate to him? No. He is thinking everything is the same. All Leela is going on. And it is the divine Leela. See. Look at these saints. So, Satsangatve Nissangatvam, Nissangatve Nirmohatvam, Nirmohatve Nischalatattvam, Nischalatatve Jivan Mukti, Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam. So, come in contact with saints and sages. Same thing came in our Kathopanishad also. Something parallel going on. Come in contact with saints and sages. Come and sit near Upadeshta. Come and sit near the saints and sages. See? Not on YouTube. We must, when there is nothing, then it is good. But satsang must be done live. See? Till when it clicks, it clicks. We'll only keep repeating it. Whether it is a realized master, whether it is an acharya, or any place satsang is going on, live satsang is million times better than a YouTube satsang. But in today's time, we want free download. We want our comfort. We want minimum disruption of being available. No, I will sit in my bed eating dinner and listening to satsang. This is how it is nowadays. And they want a realization. Look at these saints as fondly. So we should not badmouth any saint, because how do we know where they are coming from? What is their disposition? How many people misunderstood Lord Shri Krishna? How many people badmouthed him? How many people fought with him? Isn't it? From beginning, from the time of birth till the last moment of his in this creation, in his manifestation. How many challenges he had to face? How much ridicule he had to face? How many wars he had to fight? And this is what life is. You can't escape from it. But we want only everything should be hunky-dory, everything should be peaceful, everything should be Shant. Shant is not outside. Shant is in here. So in spite of all the challenges in his life, Lord Krishna never lost his cool. Including when he shows his anger to Bhishmacharya, he picks up the Sudarshan and comes out. It was not out of anger, but to keep the word of his devotee, to make it true. Because Bhishmacharya was his devotee. He knew the truth of Krishna. To keep his word, he took that. So even there, he is showing anger, but inside he is absolutely calm. Mother is showing anger to the child, but inside she is smiling. Isn't it? Same way. Don't take anything in life too serious. I am the dwelling place of all things, so make your speech fond of uttering my name. I am the dwelling place of all things, meaning what? I am all encompassing. Space is all encompassing. When have you accessed space? Tell me. When have you accessed space?
All the time.
Eh?
You are within the space all the time.
So right now when you said that we are within the space all the time, were you thinking of space or were you thinking of answering? And if you are thinking of answering, did you remember the space and then you made the answer? While answering, were you aware of the space? After answering, were you still aware of the space?
We are aware of the space all the time, but we keep ignoring because our focus is on something else.
Good. So where do we access complete silence? We know there is silence between two thoughts, isn't it? We know there is silence between two breaths. We know, but we ignore it. We know that is where we are at peace, but we ignore it. Why? We are focused on the other than the silence. So, if space is accommodating the whole universe, what does intelligent person want? He will want to be like space, or will we want to be like what is accommodated in the space? Can you be one with everything in this world and come to no space? I'm asking.
No.
Can your interaction and feeling of oneness with infinite number of finite objects in this world lead to infinite space?
No.
No. Simple rule. So, what does it require? You to think of space to the exclusion of everything else. Exactly the same way. This is very gross example. Same way, Bhagavan is saying, I am everything is encompassed in me. I am that conscious space. This comes in one of the Upanishad. The Bhutakash, the gross space, is an aspect of Chittakash, the mental space. The mental space is an expression of the Chidakash, the conscious space. So who is the Lord? He knows He is the conscious space in which everything that is included in the mental space, He alone is, and everything included in the gross space, He alone is. How beautiful. But what do? We want to look from here up. We don't want to look from up how everything is inclusive. But when you look from up that everything is inclusive, your attention is on everything. You again lose the plot. If your attention is on everything, you lose the plot. You have to be exclusively thinking about the conscious principle or the divine principle and let that transformation in the vision come about as a result of His grace. It is not your doing. It is not your doing. And that is what is told here, that I am the dwelling place of all things, so make your speech fond of uttering my name. So, गुनगुनाते रहो, गीत गाता चल, उसको आती मुस्कुराता चल. गाता गाना भगवान का नाम लेते रहो. Take the Lord's name, keep muttering, singing, chanting, whichever way. You may spend morning, evening, some time specifically dedicated to that. But when you are doing everything, walking, talking, driving, anything, keep chanting loudly. Don't do it in your mind. Keep chanting loudly. No, never in your mind. When in the mind? When you are doing it specifically on your seat of meditation. Then let it go in. But otherwise, focus only on Vaikhari. Uttering my name, whenever you do or wherever you go, you perform all such actions for my sake. When you render help to your kinsmen or strangers, that will constitute my worship and you will become worshipper of me. We know all that. We know all that. But when we do it, when it happens, when we are to help, is there a sense of I coming? That I helped, I contributed, I gave donation, I have achieved, I have helped? Or is it coming as, nahi, nahi, theek hai. It is His will. At that very moment, not when. Otherwise, in retrospect, nahi, everything happened by His will. That is okay. But while it is taking place, it is His will that is expressing. How many things should I tell you one after another? You should assume the attitude of a servant and see me in all beings and serve them. And that is what is love. Love means service. Love means sacrifice. You can sacrifice only for that person whom you love. Mother sacrifices for the child only because she considers that child to be hers. It is included in the definition of the I. So when will you serve the world? When you consider the whole world to be I. For someone it is to build temples. For someone, it is to distribute Bhagavad Gita. Don't read Bhagavad Gita, distribute Bhagavad Gita. ISKCON does that, no? Distribute. You can distribute Bible also, distribute Bhagavad Gita. But what about the knowledge inside? No, let it remain in the book. See? So you can distribute it. That is but that is their service. They are singing. They don't care about what the world thinks. They are singing the glory of the Lord. This is also service going on. Day in and day out, satsang, expecting nothing. See? So, because we have to serve the world is such huge place. How can I serve the world, the whole world? Do I have to reach every corner of the world? Is it possible for me to reach every corner of the world? Swamiji goes all over the places, right? But still, is he able to touch everyone? Not possible. Then whom do we touch? When we talk about serving the world, whom do we serve? Whoever comes in front of us, whoever the nature brings to us or brings us to them, wherever. So how do you serve? By your thoughts, by your speech, by your attitude, by your disposition, by your finances, by your food, whichever way. What is the way? No, let that moment decide how you need to serve or how the service is going to happen. Here, if I say, oh, let's I have to serve. What is the serve? We have come to hear Bhagavad Gita. No, let's eat. फिर भगवत गीता का ये थोड़ी ना सर्विस हो गई. Purpose is Bhagavad Gita. Contemplation on Bhagavad Gita, that is the service. After Bhagavad Gita, the next service begins, which is Annadan, Viksha. See? So it is, and there is no copying. I cannot do, if he does 3-4 times pujas in his house, you ask me to do pujas in the house, I don't do puja in the house. See? If you serve your children, I don't have children, I cannot do that service. So wherever life has placed you, instead of thinking that I have to make today, a lot of things, we have to make impact on the world. Your world is where you are. World is not outside. Where you are is the world. So whatever is within your vicinity, what is in your vicinity? Your mind, your thoughts, your breath, your body, your relations, the people that are coming, whatever is the environment around you, wherever you are you being happy? Are you considering everyone as the part of the divine? Are you unconditionally loving them? And loving does not mean only kissing and hugging. Mother scolds also, but she loves the child. Hota hai na? So, how have the wholesome vision? Think, I keep saying, think total, act local. You can only act here. You cannot act in totality. But local is a part of the total. So your capacity to function at any given moment is where you are. There you make, and you don't go with the attitude of I have to make an impact. You be surrendered to the Lord. And that Lord will give you the vision that everything is expression of His alone. And even if it has not come, you make an attempt to serve without judgment, to serve with unconditional love, the one and all. With this, we conclude for today. And on Sunday, we have the class. Tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, we have the class. I repeat that when I'm in India, same time you log on to the Zoom and see if the class is going on. I'll put it on the WhatsApp also, if I can remember. because I will not be, after some days, I will put the Australian phone off. Because, my Indian number will be on. So in my emails, the Indian number is there. So, but you log on to the Zoom, 5 minutes here and there. If it is delay, just keep it on. If I come on and we have the class, same time, Australian time, then it will continue. Otherwise, holiday. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Sit quietly for a moment.